here. I'm gonna go for elephant. I like lion. We've seen it. I'm just a big support person, right? I focus a lot on the supports, but I really like the lion and the Lena as well. They've obviously proven that they can win with that duo. I have faith in coming with the duo. But boys, please take it away, Gods and Aries, for game number 2.
Good night. Oh, we've got a quick pause as we get situated with our second game here. Both on the MagMa train. Are we 100% in, or are we kind of just forcing ourselves to hope for a game 3 here, or do we actually truly believe maybe they have a better lineup?
That's a good question. There's definitely an element of, I think, wishful thinking, but not entirely. You know, if I step back and think just my brain, I'd probably lean elephant based on the players on their team, based on what we saw in game 1, where they were just so good at avoiding those bad fights. And I think the key winning hero is going to be probably this Morph.
Now MagMa have control on the die side's triangle, so let's see if we see battle.
Yeah, both teams swapping sides, you know. It's half time, we swap sides, right?
Early Ancient block too, so the recognition that Elephant are going to put a lot of emphasis on stacking for Eurus. Look at this setup. Look at this setup. The pincer from Dire. They will scout them out though, so they see FY and Super. Things are coming through. Is Super, are you going to brave that high ground? I was going to say, I don't know, I think you're... I don't know if you want to do that. I actually think they're aware also of the positioning.
Get a bushwhack here. Super needs to be careful. Gets caught in the trees. Get a kill here.
It's gonna take a long time.
Luna's fast, and it's worth it. It's a first blood. We'll see if they can give it to Morphling. No, he's gonna go back for his creeps, and Luna and Shylock taking it also. Whoa! Mien. I don't think he realized his bushwhack would do that much damage. Kill.
I did like what you were bringing up before, though, with the lanes here from MagMa. A Luna ET, really strong lane. We're going to see a Mars Hoodwink as well. Previously, Mian has really been the one playing the Hoodwink. It's more been Kaz on position 5. But with this Mars lane, they could get pretty aggressive on Super's line. A double stun, so to be very careful with his positioning. But I'm a little bit more worried about how the rotations are going to fare to the mid lane, as Radiant don't really have supports that can make these maneuvers, whereas a Lion and Earth Spirit, more in particular the Earth Spirit. So the setup for Somnus to bring down Dust could be very devastating here for MagMa's kind of win condition.
I feel like that's tough because Morphling playing a tough matchup often needs those rotations. You're playing more from the lane. I think with a rotation he could actually come out on top, but doesn't have the best heroes to make those moves, so if there's going to be any easy options for him. But already Lena bullying. This hits 3 denies, Morphling 4 and 0, trying to adaptive strike creep. Somnus understanding this matchup really well, putting on constant pressure.
Yeah, this is the early advantage that a lot of other mid laners have versus the Morphling, or even in the lane in particular. Like, his laning stage did get a little bit better with that change in the attribute shift, but still level 3 is a big spike for him to at least be able to last it and have some potential to stay in the lane. As already you see, Somnus, he's, like you said, so aware of how he needs to play this matchup mid, and he's doing it to perfection.
Oh, bad news. He's going to go on a mid, damage Dust. Is he just throwing away his body? No, he's going to go more strength. He got like 3 or 4 last hits under the tower, a couple with adaptive strike, and that allowed him to actually finish his bottle. If he didn't get those last hits, Slam would be lost right now, but luckily just getting those last hits on the tower means his bottle's coming out. So while things look bad for him, he's just kind of pushing the limits, and he's actually in an okay spot here because Somnus is out of mana.
You see, Somnus, he has already used all his bottle sips and has got some water runes, so we'll see how they're looking to play here for the Lena. But to our bottom lane, Shylock doing pretty well at the moment here for the Luna. 15 last hits compared to the 9 on Yang. You feel like this lane is going to continue to be in Shylock's favor?
Yeah, at some point they may just start cutting these waves behind the tower and forcing Shylock to last hit under the tower with a creep wave on him. Opens up potential for like an Iron Shelled Earth Spirit to roll in, stun him up, and go for a kill. So I think for MagMa, they need to go for this max Lucent beam. Shylock needs to be ready to fight. Cannot go for any kind of a greedy Blessings plus Moonglade's build.
Radiant's
They need
middle
to
tower
just
is under
zone these
attack.
heroes away and make sure that Elephant don't find themselves in a position to tower dive.
Don't burn your fingers.
Top last TZY and Mion. She's having a decent time at the moment. 14 last hits.
Dire's structures
Is
are fortified.
sitting pretty comfortable there.
And there's no real room to go for these stacks. Very close to Morphling. Still the fair advice. I mean, just baiting. Still. And again, Lena's down to 0 mana, so even though it looks like Lena's pressuring him, oh wow. He actually got the Earth Spirit on the high ground. Nice ball smash. Nice move from Somnus, going in to steal this bounty run. I
Seeing
think
someone bleed out.
Dust was trying to save that one for later.
Let's get started.
Dang. Got the beam up.
Radiant's
Don't even need
bottom
it. A
tower
right click.
is under
Okay,
attack.
Shylock. Love to see it for MagMa fans. Then up their second kill of the game here. Oxy down bot. And another little win for them as Dust steals the water rune away from Somnus's Lina at the top side. It's still going to continue to get difficult because Morphling doesn't have any supports to enable him to find the rune refills here, which is a bit worrying.
I know what they were just like holding hands, walking back from the rune. They were like literally standing next to each other, not attacking. Very, very cute sight. Dust and Somnus. But yeah, Lina makes a really nice play, stealing the bounty rune, eyeing Dust from another bottle refill. But definitely liking how Somnus is playing this lane 25-11 to 14-2. At the same time, I think Dust is doing this lane pretty impressively, but he's losing. That's just how bad this matchup is for Morphling. Even when it's played well, you just still lose this.
This is FY rotating with the Iron Shell, and when do we feel like FY is going to start to get active across the map?
I don't think there's any need to get active on the mid lane. I think Somnus is winning this lane and maybe even being like, yeah, try and secure me the 6-minute power room, but I don't think he needs a gank necessarily. We may see a rotation towards top for a kill here on the Hoodwink. Nice
Should
spear.
find it.
Wow.
Oh, nice spear from TZ.
Alright.
Last right click. We're actually trying to man here, TZY. Let's rebuke up in a couple of seconds and a lot of one charges. So spear up in the nick of time. Is it enough damage? Oh, he doesn't get the stun actually. So Super survives on a slither of HP. He's going to try and deny himself, but meanwhile down bot, Shylock and Kaz pop off here for 2 kills.
2 kills, yeah. Wow. This, and I mentioned, this is the lane, the side lanes for MagMa, the ones that need to go well. This bottom lane is crushing it. This is why Luna, I think, had a 10-1 win rate. It's just like the hero is so good in lane. You can, if you have an easy lane, you can go greedy, get the top lane tools. If you have a tough lane like this one, you go for the fighting, max Lucent Beam, and just win your lane.
Yes.
The problem, I think, for MagMa right now is not that Morphling's getting bullied and losing mid lane, it's that this top lane's not going better. I think they needed this Mars Hoodwink to go even or even win their lane, because they need to make up for the fact that Dust is not having a good time.
Yeah, the issue is that you've got a Luna who's going to be able to flash farm, but Morphling needs catch up, and if you don't have someone to make the space for these two very greedy heroes, then Elephant are just going to be able to continue pressure on the map. So, like you said, the fact that Mars is playing incredibly well could be a bit of a worrying sign here. He needs to pop off and be that playmaker.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
ward.
attack.
They probably expected to easily kill Dust here. He's got the raindrops. He just instantly loses like all of his raindrops. Down to 1 charge beside him, only came out a couple minutes. See Shylock's Luna. That's the point in Eclipse, so that potential in the early game is somewhat there for the Luna.
Dire's middle
Get too
tower
aggressive
is
with the
under
dive.
attack.
See the turnaround.
Radiant's
Sorry,
top
Shylock has
tower
done
is
very
under
well for
attack.
himself in the lane. For kill involvement for himself. Be careful if he oversets the mark here as they'll TP through Somnus. He will get punished, and the lane was going well. Unfortunately now with that kill on the Luna, they're getting nothing out of the map too.
Well executed, well played. I think Luna
Dire's middle tower
maybe
is
just have to
under
kind of
attack.
predict a play. At the same time, it
Radiant's
just,
bottom tower is under
you want to
attack.
keep winning and contesting your lane. You go back to the jungle, and it's something.
Dire's top
Yeah,
tower
that lean
is
is-
under attack.
A lot of movements in the mid lane. in. Nice sidestep.
More strength and everything, so even if it landed, he would have been... This is beating all playing.
Reasonable. Double illusion, but with the Eclipse drop, that would be kill on Somnus. Gonna
Radiant's
give
middle
them
tower is under
influx
attack.
of gold. They find a rebuttal.
Dire's top tower is under
Miami
attack.
hoodwink here, but meanwhile it's also enabling TZY to be able to have a free lane here. They've actually shoved out Eurus to the jungle. Not that he's too upset about it, because he can farm incredibly fast.
Just a great play from Dust there. What's this plan? He's using this morph early aggressively to turn into a Lina. So with a double damage, he has an LSA Dragon Slave into a some right clicks that just destroy the Lina. I don't think they even need to get the kill in the
Dire's
end,
top
but
tower is
I
under attack.
that Shylock understands he needs to maybe get involved in the fight early with Eclipse. So it was overkill, but it was like the kind of mentality that shows that MagMa understand how to get into this game. I say get back in this game, they're actually pretty even on gold, and Luna's still top net worth. Dust is even leading farm after that kill. So this game, in okay position
Radiant's
for
bottom
MagMa. They
tower
can make
is
another
under
couple of
attack.
good rotations. So it'll start to look good for them.
Where do we feel like these rotations are going to come from, though? Is it kind of the Mars where we have to pay attention to? He hasn't got that early link, as they're actually setting up on super top. We're going to scout out, and people 7 on TZY, so the damage is through the roof at the moment, and unfortunately FY did too late. Meanwhile, down Yang, Microsoft, all of the search duration, so Yang should just be dead here. Free picks again for the side of MagMa, even a courier. Why not just feed that one away? That was the arcane booster.
Yeah. Big find. MagMa getting some huge kills in both side lanes here. The top one was just a support, but I think the big thing about it is they didn't commit the arena. They did a really good job just chain stunning, using their spells to maximize damage. But this time around we see Peace away with the Aura of Corrosion. I'd like to see this. It's just a more aggressive way of playing.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Through that
attack.
bottom, this is starting to look pretty damn good for MagMa. We kind of, we half joking predicted them to maybe force the game 3, but when we saw the draft, we were like, draft 10 more.
Well, do we feel like Elephant are going to be able to make a movement pretty shortly, or are they okay with this? Because you do have a Mag, it's a bit more of a slower orientated pull.
I like the idea of playing aggressive with a spread line. Perhaps they want that level 6 on super first. Sure whether him or FY is getting that experience. Being used. Yeah, not support level 6 here. Elephant side. I think once Finger of Death is online, they should be making finding these pickoffs on either Luna or Morphling ideally. You can't just sit back and expect to be able to win or more against the Morphling plus. That's a bad idea. This is Luna with Mask. This Luna's now, and okay, I've done my part. I've won my lane. I've made a rotation mid. I'm gonna go secure it like it.
Radiant's bottom
I'm
tower
just intrigued to
is
see how
under attack.
MagMa are going to keep it up with the because both
Radiant structures
and
are
Morphling
fortified.
like to take a lot more of the defensive farm, so could be a little bit telling for
Dire's
where they're
middle
farming
tower
and
is
make it
under
easier
attack.
for Elephant to make these
Dire's
aggressive
structures
rotations,
are
but
fortified.
it's actually MagMa. They're looking
Radiant's
to take an
bottom
early
tower
T1
is
tower
under
in mid lane, and Elephant, they're offering no defense, so now the towers get claimed here for the
Dire's
boys on
middle
Radiant.
tower has fallen.
Scouting with the Spirit, they know it's
Radiant's
safe.
bottom
There's nobody
tower
waiting
is
in the
under
trees.
attack.
Like your Spirit, FY was considering it, but had to run away. Gathered.
Radiant's
Elephant
bottom
just
tower has fallen.
Don't seem ready to fight. I think Eurus is realizing he's going to have to be an initiator, has a Blink Dagger queued up. This
Dire's middle
draft
tower
is
is
not
under attack.
looking all that potent on the Elephant side. It's all the pressure's on him to make these plays, but he doesn't really have a good hero to play around. The way this mid lane is played is this greedy boot to travel BKB way, which, I think it's fine. So didn't go to your center. Got a safe lane Magnus on his team. He's probably thinking, okay, I got BKB dead to build once again. Right now.
Radiant's bottom tower
Has
is
just
under
run
attack.
up the high ground,
Hold your
thinking
feet to
that
the
he's from
fire.
super, too. He'll get his first charge. I do think their plays get at least a little bit easier now with this tier 1 tower claim down bottom.
Dire's top
Open up the
tower
map
is under
and
attack.
maybe drop a deep observe board for them. With the boots of travel complete as well from some, so they can be in lane to lane and playing soon with FY's Earth Spirit if they scout out a deep clear on MagMa. They're actually looking to take a fight up top. FY, a deep roll in. easy why, but they haven't successfully controlled him at the start, so they're going to think twice about continuing on forward.
Both to make their own perfect plays slash fates. Mars goes in thinking the lane is maybe a kill, sees two swords, like, oh, I'm gonna get out of here. An elephant could have maybe faced it. They were worried that Mars had more backup, but it was just the win. Ward is scouting them out. They see FY.
I roll in a little bit shy on the connection here. Bring more to the back. Let's get them up. Like, Hexes, they need to get the speed. They're not even going to provide that at the moment. The clip shoots first. Full round of the beams on the higher ground. That is a couple of ultimates forced from MagMa just to get the kill on Super. Now they need to be careful with their positioning because an instant smoke, an elephant looking to make a play here, pushing on forward. Might be in a position to pop the smoke as Easy Y's the target. With the roll in, and they won't be able to catch it with the Mars. They will drop the RP for this. Maybe, I guess why not use it? You're just still gonna look to play the jump. You know, use the RP, get the kill, keep farming.
Great play from F. I'd use that roll out of the smoke pop range. 1,000 range for the smoke to pop, and he's making sure that he's out of range. Considering he knew there's a raid and observer would up there, or at least has an idea that smoke pops, Mars is going to get out of there. And just playing, so really good time to kill the Mars. Bit of a small little misplay from MagMa where they committed the Eclipse, and there wasn't really a fight. I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of last game with the Exorcism a few times where they throw it out, but you know, I think the good news is it's an Eclipse, which is less of an important spell compared to what the Exorcism was in game 1. When MagMa wastes an ulti like Eclipse, they're like, okay, let's just back off and keep farming. So, a good decision and response to make the wasted ultimate, even though the.
I really like the I feel this game for Yang. He's good for the mechanism. We'll see often that the Darkster is going for this early Aghanim's as.
I'm a bit surprised if every game on Team Dark, this is just rush Ags. It's so good, this Ags Scepter. But they want that the utility items, the mech, maybe they want to fight earlier. So the idea of mech's just a super item. That's kind of what this.
Regeneration.
You have a team fight lineup as well, so maybe they're looking to move up a little bit early. But the Ags, you said slow but can kind of provide that. I'm intrigued to see though if he either like a pipe exciting, because there is a stupid amount of magical damage that MagMa have. Both their condition cores in a way, the Lunar and the Morphling offer hybrid damage with the physical and magic here, so I could be on the card.
Yeah. The team comms.
Dust. Sidesteps the roll and just gets the strength more off. Now they're actually going to turn around. Picks up the E-Blade. So the Surge is that yet now have this to get safety. So let's stuck around as well. And to get the connection on the roll. Dust. Just a bit short here, but still the slow is all they need to have the follow-up. We're going to lay it down first, but gets the side. Still, the connection there is Dust will fall. Gets a double impact. Beautiful play.
Radiant's top tower is under
Boulder
attack.
slash finally catches up to him with the rolling boulder as well. Just that slow, that was perfect. More usage. His Morphling is geared. This game is looking rough for Elephant. I think the team comms is probably them saying, like, you know, we can't just afford to go into a farm battle with these guys when they have Luna Morph. That's why they probably get this mech. Dumped his team fighting with his E-Blade and get it.
Down with 12 damage. It blocks the problem on that. He's got no backup. Yes, it is by himself. The Roche is still about to fall. The Aegis claim. Traveler picks up. Fly out. Finger claims the Aegis and now Radiant. They don't have the numbers advantage right now. Respawn. That's all Shylock. But he's going to get controlled. Brought down as Elephant. An incredible fight around the Roche pit. You're starting off with a multi-man RP.
Yeah, it was such a good. He just knew he had to as soon as possible. The RP, they don't actually kill him on the RP, but it slows down the Roche and buys time for the Darkseid to get perfect wall off.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
He had the right idea. Kaz is like, look, I'm gonna look in. Unfortunately, when slow MagMa fits, cancel the blink.
Instant burst. Nice play, MagMa. They hit back here with a quick kill on some. This is Lena.
Yep. Such intense fight. Kaz couldn't stop the Magnus playing.
Radiant's middle
Morphling didn't have
tower is
Martin for
under attack.
his full comps. But still MagMa, I still like where things stand for them, even though that road fight doesn't go according to plan.
If it did go to plan, that could have been really worrying for Elephant, because line up that MagMa have, which is a really greedy off Luna draft. And if you get away with the first 20 minutes with being able to get your items, then you're maybe feeling pretty confident to make it to that late game where you should feel favored with the greedy draft they've got.
Every time you watch I will this, I'm like, okay, I can see why people pick this. It's like Korean Protector beats Nirvana or something.
First enough though, Magnus is so incredibly tanky, they just missed the skill though, and it's going to cost them the kill I believe on Eurus. Another smash, they're fighting here, great use of the control here for the Hoodwink, it's enough, how's Magnus keeping alive? He just gets away with the back to safety, now they're chasing forward the Hoodwink. The Trine-esque Mirana will get caught out at the tree line.
What is that guy? Dust wasn't full aggy when he first went into the E-Blade combo, so it didn't do as much damage as I expected on the Magnet.
Dire's bottom
Threw it all
tower
in.
is under attack.
I'm going to lose their support Hoodwink in the end, but what an annoying hero for Elephant to be dealing with, is always playing in these trees, just constantly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Finally, bring her down.
Dire are scanning.
I look to make a play here.
Dire's
They are
bottom tower
to a
is under
BKB
attack.
on Eurus, so do you feel like they might actually wait for that as MagMa? They're not waiting. That's a night vision coming into play with the burst. They even use the Eclipse Sharpshooter on point there to burst through Magnus down for 50 seconds, slowing down his rate of farm.
We're seeing he survived last time, so that was almost just like a let's make sure this guy doesn't something with a hat, throw out an Eclipse there, and throw big ultimates, just 50 single kills and then go back to farming. And with Luna Morphling, you know, how can you blame them? Paper, it's like the late game carry. They have the two best late game carries in this game, although you know, you may have something to say about that. Like last game, not topping the net worth charts. Number 4, having to share that jungle farm with Magnus and just not being able to keep up with Luna or more.
Yeah, I guess it is something to bring up with the late game prowess that Alina, seeing this build really start to show it to the physical damage. She's got the Crystallis looking to be built next, but we keep in mind with that empowered damage as well. I mean, it is definitely going to help out some in this late game.
What have we here?
Let's turn that maybe power around. Last thing this form was empowering, structuring the Luna ult. And there are some nifty stories. We've seen the Earth Spirit, we've seen the Luna with just for stuns and nuke combos, so us showing that he knows fully well how to use that morph in these fights.
Is there any play eventually, like it's super fun that see him look to prioritize for the team with the morph?
Acceptor this game is probably not on the cards. I think unless you have like a Earthshaker or Willow, the two big ones. Willow's been at least from what I've seen, maybe in some of the other regions, the more popular morph combo as of late. But yeah, I think he's just going to be keeping enemies and probably not any kind of Acceptor this game. If they get like a Roche with Ags, it's probably going to like the Luna. The Eclipse is up. Nothing like game scenario.
Haste.
And head up with the E-Blade as well. That could be very difficult for Elephant to deal with their backline. I might just get bursted from far with an E-Blade.
Dire's bottom tower
Could
is
be
under
too much
attack.
for them to deal with. Dang it. Does look like he's going for the pipe. Yeah, I'm trying to check what he's got on the choreo because he's got the ring health queued up. Yeah, he's almost got the pipe completed. Okay, so this is going to negate a decent amount of the damage that MagMa have.
Okay, Jen. Fine, they're ready to go again. They've got all their big ultimates online. There's still no BKB, but feeling like he can be there for line. Let's go find Yang there.
Drop it, you know, the Arsenal dance at it. Elephant want to think about taking this fight. See if we get bursted down. Another smoke play where we see MagMa looking to angle line up to influence around the triangle camp, recognizing this is often where one of Elephant's players is going to be positioning. From the Magnus likes that area.
Miss Lena, it feels like someone's always there. The dark, but they instantly make their top.
Dire are scanning.
Actually, yeah, he's just been gone on. Maybe also be at BKB.
Gotta get out. LSA, look as well. Team sacrificial lamb turn. Stuns up the mark with the 8 o'clock. The sharpshooter with the it's enough damage. They'll clean up. Here come the irritations. Wolf's gonna be careful. Dust fast enough. Vessel will enable that, but back to safety. Not use Eurus. Only finds one. It's on Shyla. An incredible target to prioritize. Kill Luna, and at least they even up the trade.
Great fight. And Yang is doing really good with these walls, just making sure he had like illusion in these sites. Is really problematic. This Dark Series is probably
under
become one of the top priorities for MagMa to go on just because of this wall. Those replicas doing nearly damage, 100% damage, and I imagine at level 15 he gets that wall of replica illusion damage talent as well. So yep. Definitely a look. Child getting caught out there, but Lena also going down. So kind of even trade. Maybe I would say slightly better for Elephant considering how things have been going. Both teams probably going to be in the posture and set up for this.
Radiant's middle tower is under
30
attack.
seconds from now.
Is there a team where you feel like they would have better role in this game? Because it does look like either team, their AoE abilities are through the roof.
Yeah, really good. I think the big thing when both teams are pretty good team fight around Roche is going to be vision, which is wards as well as spells. So how their enemies are, and Dire don't that.
Radiant are
I think I want to
scanning.
get on FYS first, which I'd like to see eventually. Probably that would be a good time to put up.
We've got Eurus, Smoke, positioning with their ward on the higher ground. Another instant hex stops the speed combined up with the arena, but it's not going to matter.
Slian not having a link is definitely a big question. Like that's the kind of scenario where it's like you're at position, not the 4, but it's far as Aether Lens. Like it's in these games, the vision by a cliff. The others play.
I think this is a difficult part. They force the beacon to have that get out now. Eurus is
Radiant's
hunting, so
bottom
execute
tower
those
is under
sides have committed, and the beacon beats it back. 100 HP to get through. The back onto the wall with Dota available to turn, but the get out pairing up with the Magnus. There's a lot of abilities to be
Radiant's bottom tower
Radiant
is
are
under
pretty
attack.
happy with that.
Gonna be almost Magnus. It's Spam Break, I feel like, is saving his life. The bonus strength plus 10% magic resistance. That is a lot. That's he survives on the 400 health there, which with 15 magic resistance, I think is basically the difference.
I'm on. Solid positioning.
Yeah, he pops super smoke.
Radiant's middle
I
tower
love what
is
Team
under
Yam
attack.
Yam is doing. It's been
Dire's top
so
tower
fun to
is
watch
under
this game.
attack.
It's positioning so far. And another smoker might cost him his life here. His team did get hoodwink and even commit
Dire's
things
structures
death
are
but
fortified.
it had enough of the little squirrel. Take the game for 50 seconds, but MagMa. Very
Dire's
good still
top
around
tower
his
is
top
under
side
attack.
as they're going to look to try and take the tier 2, which will give outpost control. The
Invisibility.
Dire, they don't have this advantage. They give Eurus his ability. Give it easy wide. He's under the got the burns to go to the help of the Mars. He's going to turn and get the arena use. Trying to get back this technical task. But a couple seconds with the large right click there. Morphling. Like fell up top.
Dire's
Somnus.
top
Was
tower
that Shadow
is
Blade?
under
Oh,
attack.
the Shadow Blade.
Oh.
I thought he had this queued up. This is such a and to hunt like that low health morphling. He's going to have much higher strength now that this is probably the reveal. I don't know. It's very farmed. I think maybe this league's had it for a while, but
Roche is up.
and Roche is up. The monster, that was just He stopped the smoke. He had Blink at BKB. They didn't actually go on him for like a full second or even 2 seconds. He just didn't blink away. I thought, okay, pop the smoke, blink away. But he didn't. He just stood there.
Oh, there's a DD in front of the P2. Disasters for MagMa. I think they just have to give it up.
Yeah.
Double damage.
Big opportunity for them. Now giving away the second version is his upstairs. Getting shot on the cards. Scout out with a blink in. Why is gonna get caught? They haven't fit the jump. They'll find everything from that second version. This is scary. Magnus surged up. Look at that catch potential. He's zooming on forward.
Chen being claimed. Actually, Lena's holding onto it, so
Nice burn.
Lena's going to be the one to.
Did you get doxed the punch for the illusion? Just another illusion against the Luna?
Dire are scanning.
Bad, I would say. I'm sure how Darks is going to get to right click. I would rather just likely see on FY.
Dire's bottom tower
And now this is not even using it. So I think
Radiant's
FY is
top
the
tower
shard
is
they
under
have.
attack.
I have no idea how good this Magnus was. I feel like even. But FY is the one that stands out to me.
They do have very good heroes with it. We see like a lion even sometimes
Radiant's top
prioritize.
tower
I don't
is
think this
under
game they will,
attack.
but yeah,
Radiant
there's,
structures
the-
are fortified.
from it +4 stone remnants,
Dire's
375
middle tower is
round
under
vision.
attack.
Like it's a crazy shard for the Earth
Radiant's
Spirit.
top tower is under
Good.
attack.
Back at base. Is it going to go? Yeah, it does. You're right. And more illusion. He's going to
Dire's
blink, so
bottom
he's going to
tower
have
is
to get
under
on top of
attack.
some of these heroes. Or support's
Dire's
never
bottom
getting
tower
any
has
love.
fallen.
Cause game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So what needs the illusion out of them?
Also, MKB timing. So you could do previously with the Lena on Somnus, and we're going to be able to get
Dire's bottom
just
tower
doing
is under
small
attack.
things, should be this nuisance and cutting the wave. Costing his life here, unfortunately, is Elephant.
Mate, catch
Gotta do a
balls.
smoke up. Gotta be careful. Dust.
He expects them.
Easy wire coming over. Just doesn't have a lot of strength and evaporates. Guna, finger of death. Why you can't play so pushed away from your team, but they're gonna try and counter. Easy wire. This is solo BKB arena used for just super.
You can see that why you need a blink on Lion. They get the kill on Morphling, but let's say he stayed at his tower. They can kill him at the tower if Lion has a blink. He has to like glimmer cape invis in to try and get insta hex off. I think without having a blink is questionable. He realizes it himself. He's going to speed up as his next item, but I feel like and then the aim just how he needs to be playing this game. It's worked. They still got morph kill. He also could have escaped maybe with blink. But yeah, I think super pleased to have some things to say about his item build out.
He's closing in on it though, and I guess the Philosopher's Stone helping out a lot. He's really farm, in fact, 1,000 net worth, so at least shortly he'll have that blink. And often though we do see Lion has been one of the best ways to deal with the Morphling, just at instant hex through a lot of previous games. Not seeing it so far, but like you're saying, you might have some questions to
Magic for a second count matter. BKB on 2 of these heroes, plus Darkly with a pipe. This is a good way to blow up some of these supports, although FY himself about to finish BKB as well for a third one.
Radiant are scanning.
the 20 talent on Shylock. So yeah, that magical damage would be at a level that may be unable to deal with, unless that burst through MagMa through this BKB duration, which is going to be something we have to keep tabs on.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This mid lane wants 2 tower. Taking the bottom one, so if they go an outpost camp, I don't think they're that interested in playing around that bottom part of the map right now.
See how difficult it is for them to get out of the map against the elephant lineup. The pickoffs that they've shown now is going to get even difficult. Super's blinks completed. You got FY to hunt, Shadow Blade on Lena. So you have to be so careful on how you push these side lanes. In fact, Eurus jumping. Is he why gets a speak, but he might have to BKB as Somnus is also hunting. Finding LSA connection, Kaz is probably the easier target. Put a sidestep. Around with the bulwark, but that's not enough. Attack. Trouble here with the turn back. Wall drops up. The ultimate coming through from Element are on point as they root through 3. It cost the Darkseer his life, but it doesn't matter as Yang picks up a
Dire's bottom
double.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, there's he's even picking up kills from the grave there. Those wall illusions just doing all kinds of work. I'm surprised he didn't go for the illusion damage. Even the vacuum AoE is fantastic as well.
He's
The
so
surge.
lucky it surged.
Yeah. Realized maybe at the time could have gone for a blink or a spike instead of the hex.
Money to burn.
Looking rough for MagMa in these team fights. And Darks can get these combos off. He's going to have an Aghanim Septic feed up now, so have that ability to just keep his lanes pushed out by chucking Iron Shells on creeps. Bonus health for any of your teammates you're putting it on. Biggest problem I feel like is going to be this Somnus Lina in some of these fights. Again, it's the same story as last game where they had to commit everything to kill a Lina. This is now a level 25 Lina. He's about to finish a Skadi with this Shadowblade MKB.
And it's just worrying that it feels like Elephant, they have much easier time to be able to execute these fights. Like, stun, you're gonna get on 1 if 2 people. You're gonna get an RP on 1 or 2 people again. Lion can jump, Earth Spirit's gonna get the connection. You see the involvement of these, or the heroes on Elephant, but it's Radiant, like, support's control in the fights is very, very difficult to get multiple people getting this burst before the BKBs.
This grace could come from this. We've seen the Lina's damage output being somewhat mitigated by it. An area where TZY needs to tank up and position himself as much as possible, but feel like they can manage all their spells. I mean, it is a 6-second BKB on Magnus. Lina is also pretty low, 7 seconds on Lina, so they the shorter end.
Smoke up. Elephant as 5. They try and find MagMa out of position. They are grouped up around their own high ground. Have greatest vision around the area, and also Bot has a gigantic wave getting up in. So shortly, Elephant are going to be aware that no one's defending Bot, so they have to be outside the base. And with these towers under siege, how are they going to look to angle for this fight?
No, it's Roche in 5 seconds.
Radiant's bottom
minus
tower
3
is under
minutes.
attack.
Plus 3 minutes. Roshan is going to respawn in 50. There we go. Say. So both these teams will pop around that pick. See whether or not it's going to be a Pressure Shard or Aghanim Scepter. A lot of really good refresher heroes on the Dire and Raid.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So there's a few good Ags to play as well that could come.
It'd be nice for if you can give that over to the Darkseer. I mean, he's already completed the booster. Really much he can go in. Maybe Octarine, I guess, with it.
Yeah, maybe you give it to either Lina for the Spell Immunity Piercing or the Earth Spirit, gives him the Enchant Remnant so we can use it as a save.
That'd be nice, yeah.
You know, repositioning to for enemies wait out of position.
Are there any tier 4 neutral items that might be able to help out MagMa here?
I'm wondering too. I feel like tier 4s, I think, always talk about one is the Faker. Not sure they don't have that the traditional carry that they get the leveler on the Luna, so more right click damage coming out of her. I think it's, you know, this Mask of Madness is probably feeling a bit odd now with the self silence when you're going for this kind of magic damage or in build the Ag Scepter. Probably see that Mask of Madness maybe
Dire
placed at
are
some point,
scanning.
but I don't really see any game-changing tier 4 neutral items myself.
This Roshan. Third one of the game. Aghanim's Blessing available here as either team recognizing the importance of the pit. This could turn this game on its head. Does it get the jump? Morph, nice stop. Blocked it as Nectar with the score drag back into the LSA. Morph, gonna get bursted down. There's no defensive capabilities from MagMa coming through, but now with the buyback. Morphling is going to look to rejoin the fight and brings on Eurus. Magnus to rejoin that, but the damage, they'll still kill off the ET and the Mars.
Somnus' Lina just dishing it out, 3.5k damage. While the Luna clips its 6k plus damage with the buyback, they want to force this Roche.
Elephant. Break water the high ground, but Roche is falling. MagMa have this advantage in numbers right now. Is he wide? Careful back. He doesn't get up in the high ground, but the attack range forced off. If it was an aggressive one, he's in such a peculiar position. Oh, he punched him down, but in space for Roche, and he's still not dead. Great use of the Echo Song allows MagMa to reset after claiming Roche.
Big for them. They get the Aghanim Scepter as well. We'll see where that ends up. Dust is holding on to it.
Bounty.
Use it himself. He's such a good morph that I feel like even just having that, like, you know, the extra pass range could be kind of crazy good on him, but see, he's holding on to it for now.
They don't have the greatest heroes for it, actually, because Luna's already got it, Hoodwink's already got it. Maybe you give it to Luna.
Yeah, it could allow her to sell her. You could sell her Acceptor to buy a refresher if you give it to her. I think that's a viable option.
Another play is, like you said, giving it to Morphling and then maybe actually playing with the ET, because you do get that BKB spell immunity. So that could be pretty important here in these fights. There's a lot of magical damage from Elephant. I know it is starting to transition into some right-click physical because of the Lina build.
Give it to Mars. This is one I'm not very familiar with, the little invulnerable soldiers. Yeah, you can read viewers can read about it as I am as well.
It's incredible if you scale. If you got damage, which you see instantly, he goes Deso into Satanic. So knowing late game, he's going to deal a crazy amount of damage. It's going to increase his farm as well, but we're 40 minutes in. How much is that going to be a factor, of course?
Immediately buys a Deso, so he's like, okay, go the Sags, some damage up. I think panic should be up earlier.
Instantly morphing, obliterating Somnus as well. He's ripping apart the Mars. They don't have buybacks. They need to try and get out of here, MagMa. But they're looking to fight. As Dust, he waveforms in aggressively. He's only got 2 heroes in the backline and an Elephant. They've got the numbers advantage. Another Blitzthorn skewer. Morphlings in no man's land. MagMa, he's down. 120 seconds on the deck. They find another catch from FY. It's rolling MagMa. Oh, what a disastrous fight for them.
Disaster indeed. It can't get much worse than that. Luckily the Luna has buyback. Perhaps it could have been a tiny bit worse for them, but all these heroes get annihilated by a perfect RP, and they split their spells well there. The Lion goes in, stopping the Mars from getting any arena out, or even, I don't think he even cobbled the bulwark off because he got Link Hex by Super's Lion while the RP came out. So the Mars got taken out of the fight while the 2-man RP absolutely destroyed them, and then just going for the Elephant.
Come back.
Yeah, no Eclipse. I don't think they've got anything to defend this.
This is game. Elephant. They might just be able to get a rematch here. Another back on through Earthpike as well. It's Elephant. The rematch is there. They will 2-0 MagMa in our semi-finals, and they're now going to face E-Hope in the grand finals for 1 slot to make it to TI10.
Well, a grand finals we're perhaps not too surprised by, but the way we